more JOCs, more NBA. We're going to talk about juicy debates on the biggest topics is, and you, who, where are you going on the road or on, heading home or getting, or just want to cool off from a day of work. And just want to hear someone talking about good about the NBA. Hey, I am one of those guys. And we're going to drop two videos a week. Okay, so consider subscribing. Consider your like, and this video. And you like what you see here. Now, let's get now to today's talk. Okay, and today's in the playoffs. 2023. We're getting around to game 2 for each team, but I don't want to talk about the playoffs at least right now, because I want to talk about the team that I'm a fan of, and they were so close to making it. And that's Toronto Raptors. As you can see right here. This is what the team I was a fan of. Since 2018, I've been a fan of them. And as like loving the relationship that was a friendship of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, and the team was doing very successful on what was attaining one title that season. The next following years. But here is the thing. Hey, the Raptors, there's gone are those days. And you see the title video. This season was depressing. It was more disappointing. It was depressing to look at this season. Even with 41-41, top 15 in defense, top 14 in offense. And it was all the little things that you could tell this team, we were going to lose the Bulls. I already knew, week in advance, it was inevitable. That we were going to lose the Bulls in the fourth. I call it on Twitter. So the Bulls would lose in the fourth quarter. They would lose in the fourth quarter. Or lose the league in the fourth quarter, I said. And what you want to call it more, because the team, we're top 5 worst in pace. Top 5 worst when it comes to triple range. Middle class in turnovers. And we're top 6 worst in bench rotation. When you look on paper of what our team is, it is really the only teams that were good this season were the second half of the season of Pirtle, OG growing, and Chris Boucher is the bright spots off the bench. Did I say his name right? Jacob Pirtle, the trade acquisition that we made in the second half of the season. Those were the only things that were bright this season. There was something that was all over the place this season. Pascal Sikman. Let's first break it down. That's what we did last video. Sorry, got the pick. It's one of those that big video, but I'm still rooting for the Warriors in the West. Well, let's see here. We go. Pascal Sikman. Was a great he's a good defender. He can do great shot creation here and there. He's good. He knows how. He's a good playmaker. And I mentioned not bad jump shooter. As Jalen Rose once put but one of the best players no one talks about. He overstayed a little bit there. Because the thing is, he's still a good really good player. Probably born on a star player, a guy who could be an all-star, who's an all-star. He should be an all-star this season. And he's averaged 24 points, 8 boards, 6. This is not almost an assist. If he wanted to have got over those numbers of 25, 9, and 6, only 8 other players had done that in NBA history. Guess what? He would have been one of those 8 if he was that close. That's how close he was. Really impeccable stuff. And this shows the great talent that he is a lot of times. But people stop it. Stop it what? Talking about him being top 25. Raptor fan, and I'm a Raptor fan here. Doesn't even know debate about Pascal Sikman being that high in the court. But it wasn't just that game against the Bulls that horned down. It was basically the pressure, the thing, the flaws that he has, and that's pressure in the final moments of the game, or even in the playoffs. Yes, and not the playoffs in fourth quarter. He was always the third guy or second guy. That's where he's best at. When someone is helping him out to be in the best way he could be in the ability, that is when he is a really good player. But when he's doing one guy, he shakes. And Horn has to rely on him to be the clutch guy on the court. This is basically what entailing throughout the whole season's whole. Just that he doesn't. When or that you could tell in that game specifically. It didn't matter who it was. Even the Bulls were disappointed this season. We all knew they were gonna be fighting for the play-in, no matter what. They were gonna fight for the play-in. They were second and best in defense throughout the All-Star break. After All-Star break, they were second best defense, second best record, and one of the. And I mentioned guys like Patrick Beverly, Zach LaVine, and Kobe White were all doing great. And DeMar DeRozan was third in clutch points this season. Third in clutch points this season. Yeah, every week he's in the race for clutch award. Really some great stuff. The Bulls were except Lonzo Ball, he's not there. The guy who was the borderline all-star. That's why this team we all knew was going in that, and the writing is on the wall that they need to rebuild the team. But both of us were on this neck and nail of what the team needed to do. Both of us always needed, and I know it was last week, but it's worth talking about because the team was so sad that we needed to retool. Pascal Sikman, it's come to end to basically the fans basically want to have, or we want to keep him, of course, because we want to be good. We want to win, but without guys like the reason why, I said guys like Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, Marcus Gasol, those guys were to help us out in the biggest ways possible, to help him out to be the successful guy he is. He was the best guy on that team, that championship successful team, and won one of the top defenses in league history, history to me. I never saw that in defense in those years. When Horned it down, when going gets tough, this team was doing great. And that's the team. I want, if he was to say Sixers or the Lakers or a top team in the league right now, he will be so good. So good. And I'm not saying that because of and the Raptors. I'm saying that because of what the talent that he has in the court. I'm not being biased talk. I've been seeing this guy a lot. And he is so good, but he needs to basically those flaws of being the number one guy, being the guy, focusing to carry his team on the teams of what the team is entailing, of what we need. That's the team. We need to trade him away to a team that needs him to be other than the number one guy in the court. And hoping that we get something like some good players to build around a young core. Now let's get into something young core. OG Anunoby. He's one good season he had to improve from. He guards from 1 to 4. He's a good pick and roll defender. Now that shooting, they were double teaming us on the Bulls a lot in the fourth quarter, and we had 19-point lead. And it didn't matter who it was. Pascal Sikman, Scottie Barnes, OG Anunoby. They just keep turning over the ball, kept making bad decision after bad decision. And the whole team as a whole, all the team as a whole couldn't. Even if we were doing good defense, they were doing better defense. They had some like Vucevic had a better season throughout the second half. So basically, the team wasn't doing good from a standpoint of we were going to lose. It was inevitable for the start that we were going to lose this game. We were top 5 also. This is the worst one, the stat mark. Our top 5 worst in clutch points. Top 5 worst in clutch points. Yeah, we're going to lose. We're going to lose that game. And this team, OG Anunoby, but if you're going by that game, or you're going by this season, really go by the eye test. If you observe him specifically, he's hitting the wrong kind of shots. This is why he was so frustrated throughout the season. He was, basically, and I'm not talking about on the court, but himself being in trade talks and being for 3 years shot tendencies. Because he's hitting, he knows that he can bring out the team a whole lot more. He's usually a guy who get in the paint. He's good our back finishing around the court. It hits some decent trees, mid-range range is ideal best for him. And he's more better than defensive line. You can tell that's what his game is. But they're asking him to hit corner or wing threes, asking him to go into the paint west, and not bring out more the game that he's got accustomed to. And that's why he's been on at least 44% this season. He was 36 and 3 threes. Wait, he was 34% this season. And the team basically needs more deep. He needs bring out more of him. Let him go to work his own way. And I hope that if we do trade away Pascal Sikman and Fred VanVleet, I really hope we do those trades. We need to do at least like 3 trades a season to be retooling. We need guards to bring out more of him on the court. And to bring out our young guys specifically. We have decent young core, but we don't have the right pieces to let them flesh out, as I say, to be successful. And that's what I want when this team to do. Is that we need to hold it down, bring out the whole or the team to be that. He doesn't mean to be the number 1 guy, OG Anunoby. He has to be the number 2, number 3. That'll be great. Now, we successful. Now let's talk about Scottie Barnes, the thumbnail of this video. You're wondering why he will trick Ruben, a Korean basketball player who played the early 2000s. Why he's in this video is because the thumbnail of this video is because he's kind of comparison when it comes to Scottie Barnes. Now I know both of them are different nationalities, but you look at both of them had a similar game, and Scottie Barnes has been, let us face it, disappointing this season. Any Raptor fan will tell you that we're hoping better for him, and we know that he is an incredible talent, and he's a very good player. But here's the thing: it was disappointing. There's some nights where he will trickle it, and other nights where he is Paul Pierce of the Boston Celtics. It's that Hall of Fame player, one of the top 10 small forwards all the time. And if you don't know who Heo Turkoglu is, Heo Turkoglu played in the early 2000s. His best years were in that time. What was it? No, it wasn't early 2000s. It was late 2000s when he played around the Magic, and he played with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was his prime career, one of the top 75 players all the time, a top 10 center. And if he wouldn't got hurt and his immaturity, he wouldn't have been a top 8 center. No, really in the range for top 5 of all time, top 25 best players in history. See, he was on that path because of what his defense entailed. As he went to the NBA Finals against Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. But before that, Heo Turkoglu was the second best player of that team, or supposed to be, because he had the talent for that. He had a great jump shot. He could generate the offense, as with his good playmaking and his great shot creation in the court. And in that time, it was right for him. And because he was he sometimes do 10-game scan or over, but 20 points, 8 boards, 6 assists a night, almost triple-double numbers. And that's the thing with the team. And they needed him to do that consistently the whole way through the pro season. If they do that, they win a title. They were really that successful. Jermaine Nelson was the second best player, but Turkoglu had that more talent to be that sort of player that could take them to the high roads. But it's a contract year, so he wants to win. When he get that contract, he does. But then he realizes he doesn't have he didn't know what to do with the money. All this money. And the team is basically very successful. He turns to drugs because he's so much under pressure. But no one knows at the time that he's taking drugs that enhancing his game, and he gets addicted to it. Good. throughout the playoffs. He's doing great numbers that they wanted to do. They go all the way to NBA Finals. Folks, this is when he gets addicted to it. Due to the drugs that he's taking. He strolls up and makes in one of the worst performances you've ever seen in the NBA Finals. Those, where he's shooting 36% behind the field, 28% on the three, 3 turnovers a night. Alright. He's horned it down. Is one of the sole reasons of why that team lost in the NBA Finals. They went to the Lakers, still the 6 games. But it wasn't where he would trickle or where he turned to. And you could see it on the court that he was basically bizarre, like he was in another place. He didn't want. You know that the writing was on the wall, that his time was up on that team. They traded him away. He was found out, suspended for 50 games to our team, and he was no longer that same player, borderline all-star type player. He went from that to a guy who was barely on the court, or 7th man on the court. When we asked him to be the 6th man, yeah, he was 7th. Who knew he would be out of the league 4 to 5 years later? In 2015, he retired at the age of 33. Now, I know that Hero Turkoglu did drugs, but Scottie Barnes is turning into that thing of when he's in pressure, when he wants to be that kind of guy who wants to help out a team in big ways. He doesn't have mentality of wanting to bring out the team the best. Yes, he goes when he wants to get in the paint. Yes, he stops and does something else. He does a point make, or he does a jump shot. He doesn't take it to the rack where he's best at. He doesn't try to go. He's going he's hitting a hard shot that we don't want, or basically he passes the ball too much, and next thing you know, the shots are gone. We don't have a chance to actually win because we need him to go to the next level, but he's not doing that. Yeah, he had done that second half of the season, but he's one. But I said he's that guy who has a talent to be Paul Pierce. But he I think he was brought more to playmake. I think he's very versatile, but he doesn't know what. It's not what he doesn't know what to do. It's that he doesn't bring out more of himself, of what he can do on the court. And that's what makes it so frustrating of what he can become. He can become this guy who is one of the top forwards in today's league, one of the top players. But if he doesn't try to be himself, it's going to get very ugly when you're at that point. And I talk about 90s Raptors. 90s Raptors, when the team was embarrassing bad, when the team was torn down for years on end, not doing a good record until the home and guys like Vince Carter, Gang and Stoudemire came on the team and made the team much better. We even traded away Gang and Stoudemire and got Hero Turkoglu on the deal. Why is it Hero Turkoglu? Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady. It's super cool out here, and basically, anyway, Scottie Barnes, I don't want that for his career. I want him to be very successful. Well, I want him to have a confident career ahead of him. But if he doesn't do that, this team is gonna go sour. Allergies are getting acted up. Oh, it's that tree over there. Here. Anyway, wait. Let's see. Another bright spot was to do. A bright spot to Joe was Jacob Pirtle. Irish did double goal for us. Us went into trade. He was gracefully became a good ribbon tester. And a great trade. And all this talk about we did a bad trade there for him. We gave him too much. Really, he's a perfect player to build the out. He doesn't need the third best guy. He needs to be the fourth. And if he could do that, it's going to be a very successful trade. When the years on in, that's the team that horned it out, and that's what we meet him. Averaging over 13 points and 11 boards a night is very good. It's very accessible. Almost a block a game, over a block a game. Hey, now, the team is what? Oh, is that? Now, Chris Boucher, I want to keep. Chris Boucher with another bright spot to help us out. But we didn't bring out the rest of it here when he has some moves. He still was showing great composure in his defense. Yes, really it was offensively, when you think about it. And that's the thing. We need him to get to the starting lineup. Those are the players to build around. Scottie, OG, Chris Boucher, and there's two other guys off the bench that could really just help us out. Now we get 14 the draft lottery, or we start 13th. And I think that we need a guard, a shooter, or if we get Scoot Henderson, that would be so good. Now I know Victor Oyama's there, but come on, there's no way. Victor Oyama, we were the lowest team. We were supposed to be 12th at best. That's to get in there. It will be really almost a miracle. We would get higher than seventh. And that's the thing. We need something like that to be we need trades for the most part. Now, Brad Bleeds. The writing is on the wall to we can't get him that big old contract. There was nights where he was being an all-star player, but he wasn't. He was bringing out the team too much. It's not that he's washed. A lot of people will say that outside the Raptors fan base, but he's not that kind. And I think it's a chemistry issue. It's really what you're supposed to do when your team is all the rest of the team is under 35% in true range. And you and Gary Trent Jr. are the only ones shooting 37% over on the court. Or are capable of that. And that's the problem. We basically Messiah Jury gave us the wrong players to really try to be successful. We're going to a wall. And we couldn't climb over it. And Fred VanVleet, he was trying to bring out too much. And then it got to the point where if he was shooting too much and missing, we're going to lose because he's shooting too much. And if he's making those shots, there's that all-star type player that we want. But he's not. But the team was. there wasn't enough of that. That he was trying to bring too much. It was frustrating with the ref calls, which was right to be, but he didn't. But you were so push you guys. He does. But when everyone's shooting bad, how can you trust him fully? And that's why he means betrayed. Okay, now there's a things pressure to Chua. He means betrayed. He had a black year, mediocre year. We just had too many big men now. We have Porto on the court. So there's gotta be a decision made of who we want to build around and who we don't want to build around. That's the thing that we had to say to ourselves. We had to go with the players that we want to search out. I just said like 4 trades or 3 by the offseason. That's the team we need to do and get a guard this or trade and maybe a shooter on the horn down water. If we do that, we could be going to find right ways of going to successful. If not, darkness will be entailed. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the playoffs.